Oklahoma faces intense backlash over state-sponsored religious school. So this is a follow-up from a story we covered a few weeks ago. The new establishment of the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School, the first ever state sponsored religious charter school in Oklahoma, has prompted a lawsuit from several civil rights organizations, igniting a intense debate on religious liberties within public education. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, along with the Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, the Education Law Center, and the Freedom from Religion Foundation, filed the lawsuit, arguing the decision violates Oklahoma's state constitution, the Charter Schools Act, and other regulations. Specifically, they claim that the school plans to, quote, discriminate in admissions, discipline, and employment based on religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, and other protected characteristics, which will fail to provide uh, adequate services to students with disabilities. The lawsuit also contends that the school's affiliation with religious authorities violates requirements for charter schools to remain independent of their educational management organization. The case has drawn high profile attention, with Oklahoma's Republican state attorney general condemning the approval of the school as unconstitutional and warning that it could pave the way for state funded satanic schools and state funded Sharia schools. Conversely, Brett Farley, the executive director of the Catholic Conference of Oklahoma, reaffirmed support for the school, insisting that only a court ruling could halt their plans. Aaron Brewer, the vice chair of the nonprofit Oklahoma President Legislative Action Committee and the lead plaintiff of the lawsuit, expressed outrage at what she sees as state sponsored religion and declared that the state's sponsorship of religious education and indoctrination is wrong. So, let me give background for those of you who don't remember. A few weeks ago, I can't remember exactly when, earlier this year, Oklahoma did something very, very startling where I believe it was the school board, I can't, or the board of charter schools approved that a Catholic institution will receive taxpayer money to conduct their virtual charter school. And this is unprecedented. This is explicitly a religious organization receiving public taxpayer money for this form of education. And this was not made on the basis of courts, or that's not my understanding. This was made on the basis of a vote of basically like a school board. Versus there's last year there was an incident of um religious schools getting public money, but that was like kind of on a technicality and that was decided by the Supreme Court, right? So there's a big difference here. And now we have amazing organizations like the Americans United for the Church Separation of Church and State, FFRF, and the ACLU fighting back. And they have officially begun the process of suing the state for what they believe as a completely unconstitutional act of violation of the rights of all Oklahomans who may not feel that they support, the indoctrination or the beliefs of this school, yet their public funds are going towards the funding of this school whether they like it or not because of the decision of this board. So, I don't know about how this will turn off, and these things take a very long time, of course, to unwind. But I wanted to celebrate these organizations for doing the hard work of initiating this lawsuit. I've started to look through the actual lawsuit that was filed. I mean, it's huge. So much work goes into something like this. So I wanted to celebrate that we have organizations like these fighting back against this imposition in the public space.
That's great. Thank you for a lot of people agree with that. Thank you so much. Do you want to read some of these comments? Is
Oh
it
yeah,
this
it's
one?
like this person is saying violation of constitutional separation church and state. Yep, that's a huge concern. Um
Hell no.
I like this person just read the read the tweet explaining what happened and just said, "Oh hell no."
Okay. Oh, this is the thinking atheist comment here.
Yes, the school is slated to go online in the fall of 2024, but is already facing legal challenges. On July 31st, Oklahoma Parent Legislative Action Committee filed a lawsuit to block the school from receiving taxpayer funds. And this is important because if this is supposed to be a school that is essentially adjacent to the public school system, that's receiving public funds, but it's a religious institution, so there's the opportunity or gap that they can be uniquely exempted from many different forms of anti-discrimination laws simply because they're privileged as a religion. So there's huge concerns about how this would be implemented, obviously, not to mention the fact that it's taking taxpayer money for religion.
We should get the Satanic Temple involved, I think.
I want them to start a satanic school. Like the Republican state attorney general is like, yeah, this is a problem because we're going to see state funded satanic and Sharia schools. I'm like, well, I don't want the
But
Sharia school, but let's get the satanic school. They're the satanic after school the after school
publicly
Satan
funded.
clubs are super cute. I would send my kids to the satanic clubs because they're just like, let's teach kids about scientific inquiry.
Yeah. Somebody, how about Sita saying, how about a state-sponsored school for witchcraft and wizardry? I want a scholarship to Hogwarts. Yeah.
Well,
So
Iblis, head over to Oklahoma and file an application.